You could do some half marathon work in it without no issue, but there is a big but in that, and today this is the one thing I had in my mind when I was running in it. Everyone, welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex and today we have the review of the long-awaited Nike Streakfly, the 5K, 10K shoe by Nike. Is it a training shoe? Is it a racing shoe? We shall find out. Stay tuned because we will have a series of videos comparing this shoe against the Vaporfly, the Takumi Sen 8, other 5K, 10K shoes as well. So if you don't want to miss these videos, subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel as well. Like this video if you enjoy it at the end, and without no further ado, let's dive in this review. Specs, the weight, this is the lightest shoe I have ever measured. Lightest road shoe because spikes are in a different category. We're looking at 181 grams in my size. US 10.5, EU 44.5. I went half a size down. We'll come back to that in the fit and in the upper. 181 is just crazy. The closest shoe to that is the Deviate Elite by Puma, and it comes at 201 grams. So 20 grams of difference between the two lightest road shoes that I have. In all the shoes I tested, it's quite a high number. Stack height and drop, we're looking at 32 millimeters in the heel, 26 in the forefoot, 6 millimeters drop. 6 millimeters drop, we'll come back to that in the ride and on how it affects the ride, but that's the numbers that we're looking at here. Width of the platform, this is quite a narrow platform. You know, it's a racing training shoe, fast paces. They just got rid of any extra material that was useless here, and the width of the platform is quite narrow. That affects the stability of the shoe. Indeed, you can feel it's a narrow platform, and for people with wide feet, the upper may help a bit to accommodate wider fits, but definitely not the widest fit of all on this shoe. Last but not least, and very interesting here, durability scores. We have that ZoomX midsole and a rubber outsole. The score for the ZoomX midsole is very interesting because this is the lowest score, so the softest midsole that I have measured with the ZoomX compound, P-Bax compound. We're looking at a score of 28 on the durability scale. Just as a comparison, other ZoomX foams were measured in the past here on the channel around 30, 32 on the durability scale, depending on the shoes, even 34 for the ZoomX, recycled ZoomX on the Alphafly Nature. This is by far the softest, lowest score on the durability scale for a ZoomX compound by Nike, which you can actually feel touching the shoe. You know, there's no big surprise here. Is it riding that soft? Not so sure, and we'll come back to that in the ride section of the video. The score of the outsole is interesting as well, 58 on the durability scale. This is pretty low for outsoles. Outsoles in general tend to be around 65, 70 on the durability scale. And this simply means that the soft ZoomX compound is not encapsulated. The outsole does not play a rigidifying role here in this shoe. The only bit firmer part on the outsole are those two pads of outsole here in the heel, which will allow for a greater durability for heel strikers and people like myself pronating a bit and rubbing those parts a bit more, which is good. And this is a bit firmer, but you don't feel it when running. I just measured it, and it's a bit firmer here in the heel. And that's just for the outsole, not the midsole. Let's look at the upper. I still have my stride pod on here. If you're interested by the stride pod, you can go check my stride pod review. Upper right hand corner, why not? It's still here because I just came back from my run. First run in the shoe, so this is really first impression. I tend usually to do 2 to 4 runs before doing a review video, but here, you know, the excitement of this shoe led me to just do 1 run, heel reps, hard session, I must admit, and doing this video. Again, sizing, I went half a size down, so this is 10.5 US, 44.5 EU. I read that this shoe was running a bit long, and so I decided to go half a size down. This is meant to be a snug fit, racing, you know, even track training, so something a bit more snug. You don't need extra volume, at least I don't need it for those type of sessions. I think it's the right choice. Now, despite going half a size down, this shoe runs a bit awkward. The length is okay, and I even had some slight, you know, toe bumping here at the pointy end of the shoe in the descents on my rep session, but that's okay, I would say, because this is just a specific use case scenario. However, the lockdown in the midfoot isn't amazing, and you don't have a ton of adjustability. I could go with the runner's note here, but I'm not sure it would change a lot. I'm a bit disappointed with the midfoot lockdown. I was a bit, slipping in the shoe despite it being half a size down for me. So, I may play a bit with the insole insert and see how it goes. Maybe trying to figure something where I will have a bit more thicker insole and using a bit more of the volume of the shoe. Heel is okay, it's not too rigid, it's not super pliable either, so you have a bit of heel support, heel lockdown here. That full bolster running across the collar of the heel is actually doing a good job, so heel lockdown wasn't a big issue. It's more here in the midfoot and that slippage I experienced that I was a bit disappointed with. Other than that, the upper is really nice in terms of material, feel, the comfort is very good. And I think that also is thanks to the insert insole, which is a ZoomX insert. I think it's even recycled ZoomX, which happened already on some Nike shoes. I think it adds a bit of cushion on the inside of the shoe and a bit of comfort when it comes to the fit. But again, I would recommend considering half a size down. This is like a case where half a size down may work for some people, true to size may work for some other people, and even half a size down, you may want to play a bit with the insole. It's not removable just like that when you get the shoe. You would need to unglue it, which I will do later on today for my second run with this shoe tomorrow or the day after, but that's for the upper. Laces are okay, a bit thin. They remind me a bit of the Adidas 6 laces, but nothing to complain about. And the tongue, I must admit I like it. I like the tongue, the padding is just what you need, where you need it, nothing too much, nothing too plush, just what you need, and I like. Midsole, the softest ZoomX compound I have measured here on the channel, 28 on the durometer scale, remember. I think it's indeed the softest, but it doesn't ride as soft as you may expect, simply because of the not too high stack of the shoe. And because of that, you sort of bottom out quite quickly. You don't experience too much softness, too much plushness, which I must say is better than, the other way around. If it was too plush, too soft, I think this shoe wouldn't make much sense. But here I think it's a good use of that softer ZoomX compound. There's a shank in the shoe running pretty much from here to here. It's a P-back shank, so quite rigid. This is maybe one of my sort of issue with the shoe. I think it's good to have a shank in here or some type of rigidifying, system. I just think this shank is way too far in the back of the shoe towards the heel. I would push it more towards the forefoot, simply because when I was running in this shoe, yes, the ride is pleasant. It's a fast shoe. You get that fast turnover. You get that pleasant, responsive feeling. It wants you to run fast, and it's a 5K, 10K paces type of shoe. You could do some half marathon work in it without no issue, but there is a big but in that, and today this is the one thing I had in my mind when I was running in it. I just wanted to have one more gear in it. I just wanted to have that extra responsiveness, that maybe a bit more rigid forefoot, just to have a bit more explosiveness, a bit more response, a bit more energy return. I don't mind the lower stack in the forefoot 26, that's okay. You won't have the same leg freshness, that's fine. But just, a bit more rigidity here. That's also because I'm a midfoot, forefoot striker, and I need that to use my strides in the best possible way. But, I was missing that, and I had in my mind, give me one more gear. I just wanted to go a bit harder, to go a bit more, to get a bit more out of the shoe, and I didn't get it. Now, I'm not disappointed at all. I think it's a fair shoe, it's a fine shoe. I will have it in my rotation. I will compare it again against the Vaporfly, Takumi Sen 8, other 5K, 10K shoes. If you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel not to miss any of those videos coming up soon. But I think Nike may do some slight adjustments to make it the perfect 5K, 10K shoe. That is, maybe putting a shank that runs, longer in the forefoot, maybe putting a plate or a forefoot plate or some other system. Maybe, I don't know what they can do, but they can certainly play around a bit with that very, very nice geometry, very, very nice ride to make it even better, even greater, even more perfect. Outsole, and this is one of the big positives for me on this shoe, the outsole has that wave type of pattern that you could see on, for instance, the Alphafly forefoot. It has it, all the way from the forefoot to the heel of the shoe. The grip is very, very good. Today was just, muddy. You can see on the shoe how dirty it got from running outside in those conditions, and that's fine. Shoes are meant to be used, but the outsole just did a perfect job on wet grounds, on wet surfaces. leaves and whatnot. I'm very happy with this. I think the durability will be better than I expected at the beginning. Both the outsole and the midsole, I think you can take this shoe to 400-500 kilometers, which is more than I anticipated, and that's good. Let's not forget about the price point of this shoe, 150 euros, $160. I think it's fair, you know, at least in Nike's lineup, considering Pegasus, 130 euros, Vomero, 160, Invincible, 180, the Vaporfly, 270, the Alphafly, 300, that ballpark. I think this is fair, and if you're comparing it against other 5K, 10K shoes, which I'm not gonna do here because we will have follow-up videos on that, I think it's a fair price point, so good job Nike with this. Enjoy your run today, guys, enjoy your ride, go beyond your limit, should it be in a crazy fast 5K, 10K shoe or any other shoe, and take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.